Well, I mean, like I said, music industry isn't being run by musicians, so it's being run by accountants and lawyers. So
Beyoncé has been sitting on the music throne for years, dazzling everyone with her sparkle. But rumor has it that glittering crown has been starting to crack for ages, quietly exposing the skeletons of her glittery empire.
I think once I sleeve on my face, I pretty much knew the outcome. I mean, you have to understand that that word on one's face pretty much changed.
He called record deals modern-day slavery, even scribbling the word slave across his face to show just how deep the chains ran. While he was fighting to be heard, he watched the Carters climb higher and higher in the same industry he was railing against. Now, Jay-Z's real name has surfaced in explosive documents, and the internet can't stop buzzing. Had been battling the corporate machine protecting select stars, and it's starting to sound way too real. Cat Williams saw the same thing. He just had the guts to say it. He used to watch from parking lots as the so-called elite headed up to secret Hollywood Hills parties, only to return hours later drained, changed, unrecognizable. Something sinister was happening behind those mansion gates, and Cat knew it. Let's rewind. Rogers Nelson was just 18 when he signed with Warner Brothers in 1977. The music game wasn't fair, and contracts made sure you paid the price. Only a select few thrived. Most artists barely survived. From Minneapolis was crafting music to conquer the world. Against all odds, he was granted full creative control over 3 albums, a level of power almost unheard of for a newcomer. When his debut dropped in April 1978, it was all him, writing, arranging, playing every single one of the 27 instruments. 27. He didn't care about money. He was building a legacy. By 1984, was everywhere, #1 album, #1 movie, #1 artist. Warner Brothers saw dollar signs and locked him into a 6-album, reportedly $100 million deal. The biggest solo artist contract ever at that time. But, of course, money came with chains. Buried deep in the paperwork was a trap. He unknowingly handed all ownership of his music to the label. Every song he'd written, played, or would create for the next 6 albums, his soul was now theirs. When the truth hit, it crushed him. In 1993, he tried to reclaim his masters. Warner Brothers shut him down cold. He simply wanted control of his creations, but the label refused. Disgusted by the fine print and the illusion of partnership, did the unthinkable. He waged war. He changed his name to an unpronounceable symbol, publicly scrawled slave on his face, and made sure the world saw the chains around his art. At the 1995 Brit Awards, that single word spoke louder than any speech. Slave. He warned young artists, bluntly, don't sign, no matter how glittering the money looks. The industry tried to paint him as unstable, but he only spoke louder. For 2 relentless years, he flooded the market, not for fame or sales, but for freedom. His mission was clear, reclaim his art. 2. Freedom outweighed every chart or royalty check. Ownership was everything. He preached it endlessly. Without your masters, you own nothing. Labels could sell your songs, stick them in commercials, or shove them into films you'd never endorse, and you'd have no say. Entire catalogs could be flipped to investment firms while the creator got silence. Expose the machine. Record labels, radio stations, distribution, magazines, awards. One giant system designed to drain artists while keeping them quiet. By 1996, he broke free. Every album now under his control. Every decision his own. Creative freedom restored. Sudden collapse in her numbers. Reports even, every step of the way, demanded total control, even becoming one of the first artists to deliver music directly to fans via the internet, decades ahead of his time. When streaming platforms like YouTube began rising, he blocked them entirely, calling them nothing more than corporate traps, letting companies profit off artists without giving them a fair share. His message was clear: control your art, or someone else will. Then, in 2015, Jay-Z launched Tidal, surprising everyone by teaming up with him, or at least on the surface. Tidal pitched itself as artist-owned, artist-friendly, a platform where creators could finally get a fair shake compared to giants like Apple Music. On paper, it looked like a dream team, two legends fighting the same battle for artist rights, but had been in this fight too long to be fooled by promises. He'd spent decades watching corporations dress up as partners, and deep down, Tidal was still a corporation no matter how polished the marketing sounded. Then came the shock, passed in April 2016. After his death, his estate sued Tidal, claiming the platform streamed songs it didn't even have rights to. In 2017, Jay-Z addressed the situation directly on his album, but the irony was so thick you could slice it. Two icons once united by freedom and ownership now caught in the same battle Prince had warned about for decades. Fast forward to January 30th, 2026, the Department of Justice dropped a bombshell. Over 300,000 documents tied to Jeffrey Epstein, released under the Epstein Files Transparency Act, just 30 days before the public had ever seen anything like it. The deputy attorney announced more documents were coming, citing the need for extra time to handle redactions. The files were explosive: photos, flight logs, grand jury testimony, FBI internal messages, and old tip line reports locked away for years. News outlets, online sleuths, and social media erupted, digging through every page for familiar names and faces. Then the first bombshell hit: photos of Jeffrey Epstein with Michael Jackson appearing at what looked like a social gathering. The internet went insane, questioning just how deep these connections went. Investigators uncovered more: dinner photos showing Ghislaine Maxwell smiling beside Clint, identity obscured, followed by even more unsettling images of Maxwell with unidentified figures. Flight logs revealed repeated trips to a private island spanning multiple years. Names no one expected appeared across thousands of two-page FBI reports dated July the 10th and 19th. A woman called the National Operations Center at exactly 8:20 a.m. Eastern, identifying herself as a victim of Epstein and others. Her report changed everything. On an official FBI file tied to Epstein's number appeared Jay-Z's name. She claimed Harvey Weinstein committed sexual misconduct while Jay-Z was present. Though drugged and with foggy memories, she identified multiple people by name, stating it happened 7 different times over the years. Every waking moment found her in lavish indoor settings, luxury only money and influence could buy. She also named Leon Black of Global Management and William Barr, who allegedly acted as attorney during some incidents. Within hours of the FBI report hitting the web, social media exploded. Jay-Z's name shot to the top of worldwide trending lists under the music industry's hidden dynamics. Suddenly, old rumors people dismissed as gossip looked like patterns backed by official government documents. Then came the fallout. Beyoncé reportedly lost over 10 million Instagram followers in just days. The drop was so massive that entertainment outlets scrambled to report the sudden collapse in her numbers. Reports even big names like Rihanna, Katy Perry, and shocking Latina Noel Sohn mother reportedly unfollowed Jay-Z on Instagram. Some analysts tried to calm the chaos, saying follow accounts fluctuate, and that Jay-Z's habit of cleaning up his account was normal. But the internet had already decided, and the damage to the Carter's image was done. Then came Lizzo, defending Jay-Z, sarcastically comparing his alleged inclusion in the files to being tried for stealing an apple at Walmart, asking, "So is everyone in your phone now guilty?" The backlash hit fast. She deleted her post within hours, calling out how absurd the comparisons were. Meanwhile, both the DOJ and major news outlets scrambled to clarify. Jay-Z's name wasn't in flight logs, calendars, or verified evidence. It came from a tip-line report, one of thousands, not confirmed proof. By the time the truth surfaced, social media had already exploded. Everyone assumed guilt. Optics mattered more than facts. Old interviews and lyrics were dissected like crime scenes, some connections real, some stretched, linking Jay-Z, Diddy, and R. Kelly to alleged scandals. Then Cat Williams trended again, his 2024 viral club set suddenly looking prophetic. He had warned about Epstein's Island and Hollywood's dark underbelly long before anyone listened. By February 2026, Williams sat down for a no-holds-barred Netflix interview, proving he'd been telling the truth while others stayed silent. He exposed who really pulls the strings in Hollywood, painting a chilling picture. Los Angeles parking lots filled with limos and SUVs waiting to whisk insiders to secret mansion parties, leaving them drained and forever changed. Williams had never been invited. Maybe that saved him. He watched from the sidelines, smoking, leaning on his car, as the same men came back altered, energy gone, spirits crushed. He described them as if swimming in something forbidden, oddly uniform in untied Sean John clothes, moving slow, pained, and then disappearing into expensive cars, sometimes through sunroofs, desperate to escape. He called it one of the wildest things he'd ever witnessed in Hollywood. Through it all, Williams made one thing clear: no label, studio, or executive could silence him. His voice was freedom, and that freedom let him reveal what truly happens behind those mansion gates. Over decades, he'd built his career to speak without fear, exposing what most entertainers wouldn't dare whisper. In his 2026 interview, he hinted at a pervasive baby oil culture in Hollywood, subtle abuses some had long ignored. Kat had warned for years, long before indictments or court documents, and now the internet treated him like a prophet. He wasn't just talking about Diddy. He had flagged Oprah Winfrey's connections to powerful figures years before mainstream coverage revisited her role. Through shocking revelations, scandals, and the resurfacing of hidden documents, the whispers Prince left about ownership, control, and industry corruption suddenly hit harder than ever. For 40 years, he had tried to warn us. The music business is modern-day slavery, and now the world is finally listening.